Hello and welcome. A man called Jay in the park. I've just come here to chill. I've just come here to talk about summer. The thing is, summer has been good, especially this one, 2025. I have been in the park recording some festivals. I have been to pubs. I have been to music venues, documenting bands from East Africa. Now, this year alone, we had one of the biggest outdoor event in London when it comes to East African events, and that is Kenya and Friends in the Park. Last year, we had about 10,000 people in the park. And then this year, it's almost the same. And then just recently, I was in East London watching Afrigo tearing apart East London. Yes, but what I'm here to talk about really is two things. First of all, let me big up all the promoters and event organizers who are bringing these artists to UK or to London in particular. And you know London is a city of 10 million people, and we are in it. But what I really want to address is this. As much as things are happening, now there is no doubt that East African musicians have found their way. Now their music can be heard all over the place, not all over the place, in selected venues, especially Ugandan venues, Kenyan venues, and Tanzanian venues, or in Tanzanian events, Ugandan events. Yes, you will hear that music. But really what I'm concerned here is that this music, or East African musicians, should be able to penetrate the UK international scene. It hasn't happened. And I know why that is happening. One, when promoters bring these musicians, they localize the event. They tailor the event to their respective countries. Someone from Uganda, a promoter from Uganda will market the event to Ugandans only. Vice versa, Kenya will do the same, Tanzania will be the same. But you have to remember what we are missing out here. The people from the Great Lake region, which comprises Tanzania, Uganda, Kenya, Rwanda, Burundi, we are 270,000 residents with work permits, and some of them with indefinite leave to remain in the UK. So we are grounded. So you see, the market is there. But why is it that we have again to localize the events, not to market it as an East African event? Well, that is entirely up to the promoters to decide that. But for me, all I'm saying that we are missing out. You see, one thing you have to realize that there is no Western agent or British agent who will bring an East African band here and put them in a place like Wembley, and also maybe bring them to a festival similar to Wireless. You know, I'm in Finsbury Park. This park, if you go further down there, maybe I will take the camera there so that you can have a look. This park, during the summer, Wireless is held here. For an entire week, the music going on. You come in here, you see bands playing all kinds of music, hip hop, whatever you want to name it is here. But of all the years I have known Wireless, I haven't seen an East African act on the stage. The reason being, I have already said it, there is no a British or a UK agent which will bring an East African act and put them on a bigger stage. So then that really opens up the opportunity of African promoters, East African promoters, to say, hey, let us do something big. But we are still, we still have that disunity. I think that's another day. So then another point is this. Let us now talk about the music. No. Let me finish with the promoters. Now, some musicians have been actually raising their concern that East African promoters and event organizers, they are only interested in making money. Their money, not to make money for the musicians. So you see, so for example, if I see a band like Afrigo, which has been, the name Afrigo has been in the main domain for 50 years. So that makes them, it's a big band, big name. Yeah. And in Uganda, it's the biggest. So when you bring a band like that one, and they only perform one night and they go, man, I don't know the thinking behind that. I don't know how they recoup whatever they have invested in. You have to remember air travels, hotel, food, and some other expenses, taxis here and there to ferry them to a venue. All those expenses, they add up. But if you bring those guys and they just play one gig and they go back, well, I don't see how the promoters make money. Anyway, now let us go to reason number two. Reason number two why East African music hasn't been able to penetrate the UK scene, because I've heard people say they lack originality. Yeah, well, that could be a fact too. You know, if I go to address this one, maybe, yeah, but let me touch on it slightly. You see, for musicians, East African musicians, they have to make sure that whatever they do is theirs. They shouldn't sound like anybody else. See, now, for example, we are talking about agents not identifying what Kenyan music is. Yes, of course it is. So, if you have got a Kenyan artist or a Ugandan artist or Tanzanian artist, they're all sounding like a South African amapiano, or they have got this Afrobeat in them. Then, well, the agents, they will say, well, you know what? See, these guys do not sound authentic, but West Africans, when they play their own Afrobeat, they have managed to create it, and they are coming up with good ideas. So in that case, that music, it can't be equal to East African musicians, no matter how they copy. I know there are very good musicians, by the way, and also don't misunderstand me. East African musicians, they are good, damn good, man. They can play anything you ask them to play. But the only thing is that they copy the exact rhythms, melodies, and stuff like that they are hearing on TikTok or on YouTube, and then they sing their lyrics on top of that. No, if you really want to do that, if you want to go that route, take a cover song that you like, sing it exactly what they did, but now twist it, put in your own stamp. Then people will accept it, because everybody does that. And also, I want also to tell you, when people say that we lack originality, we are originality, and East African musicians copy, well, man, look, I can say that every musician in the world, apart from Mozart and Bach. You see, Tchaikovsky. Those people, they didn't copy anyone. That one I'm sure. But when it comes to pop music, everyone copies. Look, you've got these girls like Dua Lipa in court. Is being sued for actually plagiarizing the music, which is going on every day. People are getting sued because they are copying. So East African musicians, they are not really doing things that are outside the norm. No, everybody copies, everybody steals. But the only thing is that because we don't have an exposure, and that exposure, there is a limitation to that. Look, the Beatles, Rolling Stones, Elvis Presley, all of them stole ideas from anywhere. So I can understand East African musicians, when they copy, they are copying exactly. Look, you copy the melody, you copy the style, you copy the sound. Well, then you're going to be in trouble. Or you really need copy, but twist it. Don't just copy and sing your own lyrics. So that is done. You see, let me give you another example of how people get ideas and make up their own music. In Morocco, 1970, there was an artist called Sid Redad Fadoul. He was the exact copy of James Brown. Now you can imagine, he did everything that James Brown did. He sounded like James Brown. The music sounded like James Brown. His voice sounded like James Brown. So now you have actually to imagine, how could he have managed to sell the music internationally? Because James Brown is already there. You see what I'm talking about here? When you copy something, make it yours. Sid Redad Fadoul, what he did, he only sang in Arabic. But if you removed his Arabic voice and you put James Brown on a track that he did, was actually doing exactly what James Brown was doing. I think that was a mistake. That one, he couldn't make it internationally. In Kenya, I think in the 60s as well, or late 70s, there was a guy called Steel Buter who sounded like James Brown. They did funk. But how the hell can you sell an idea which already exists? I can't see how you can sell sand to an Arab or sell snow to an Eskimo.
وسيد الرداد الشوم من حل احباب وسيد الجواد الشوم من حل انشاد ومول الباس راني مشتاق الكاف حلمي خياب كلامي خسر وعياب راسي مهموم عيني يخدعهم النوم ومول الباس راني مشتاق الكاس دنيا حنينة العيشة فيها بنينة مشتاق الكاف أسيد سباب
So now back to the promoters. So, but before I finish the program here, this video, let me show you what I mean. You see, I'm going to show you the videos from Kenyan Friends in the Park, just a tiny bit from 2003, 2004. 2004, that was kind of big because these guys, Kenyan Friends in the Park, they collected 10,000 people over 2 days, man. Now, that is a record. Now, big up Lydia Tet and Malaika Dance Unique. And of course, your team. Yeah. Then, I will play also the 2025, which featured Juakali. And we will finish off with Afrigo. Afrigo, they were celebrating 50 years of live music. Can you imagine that? So let us have a look at the video.
Coffee, man, say. You don't get DJ. What?
Kenya in the park, Kenya in the park, Kenya in the park. Bring the heart of Kenya up to the streets of London. One woman rose with a vision so strong. Lydia Tetolette with courage in her song, bringing people together where we all belong.
She said it's time to celebrate who we are, our roots, our dreams, reach near and far. A gathering of love with laughter and art. A nation in the diaspora playing its part.
To remember Moja, Kenya in the park. Niamani, Kenya, Kenya in the park. To remember Moja, Kenya in the park.
Windows with child.
Where the whole world knows
Kenya's culture brightly glows
in every handshake and every rose.
to remember Moja, Kenya in the park. Niamani, Kenya, Kenya in the park. Kenya in the park.
This is more than just a day in the sun. It's when your dreams and friendships begun.
She built a bridge with music and heart.
And how we dance, we all play a part.
Niamani, Kenya, Kenya in the park. Sauti moja, one voice, one heart.
Kenya in the park.
Havana, yayitirira enewooma yewooma
Namarano ni bulanga, namarano ni kubonga, namarano moyo kubonga. Obangai. Can we sing together? Obangaina, 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 Obangaina.
weewalenga nnyo okuyingira ekiro ensonga za waka zibenga za muntu bwokka bw'oba ng'onyize kibutokuba ndi mwana wa bantu jjukira gye wanzija toyombanga bantu kuuma ekitiibwa kyo bwenkanya bwokka n'amazima bye noonya nze ndaba byebyo nkuba obufumbo bwaffe
Ayele, cha 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 cha. Ya 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 ya, enjoka wena, enjoka ke ahune mari. Ya 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 ya, enjoka wena, enjoka ke ahune mari.
ululwetaba nenkonkokeya ule
Okiara kongo ke pere. Ah, ayele, 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 ayele. Cha 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 cha. Eva, you gonna oye. Cha. Ayala manoy, thank you.
So welcome back. You have seen the videos. There is no doubt that things are happening. Now there is a huge opportunity. We don't have any other excuse. Before we were saying, yeah, maybe racism here, racism that. No. Now we are left on our own devices. Yeah? We need to see promoters doing things differently. One last request. Bring bands which plays live instruments. You have just seen Afrigo tearing Royal Regency. Everything that you see there, you hear, is all played in real time, no playback, no nothing. So, another advice that I want to give you is very simple. You as promoters, think outside of the box. Yeah. So you see, you guys, you're always thinking about collecting the money from the gate only. But do you know that you can collect money from live streaming, from live recordings, from merchandise? I mean, you just bring a musician, they don't have anything to sell. They don't even have a picture that you can sell to the crowd. We need to think like that, and that's how people are making money. Yeah. I'm sure what I'm saying here is actually true. So, on that note, let me hope from next year we will see things different. Remember, we are 270,000 people from the Great Lake region. If you marketed your ideas to that concept, promoters, you will be smiling more. Imagine 10,000 in 2024 from Kenyan Friends in the Park. If you collected 3,000 from Uganda and you collected 2,000 people from Tanzania, maybe 500 or 1,000 from Rwanda, and maybe 500 from Burundi. Man, listen, that is a big number. You could even hire Wembley. But until we start thinking that way, yeah, but hey, let us help each other, man. I'm sure we can work together. How about that? It's a man called Jay. Yes, I'm sure you will withstand with my rambling. Yeah, if you have read my article about Kenyan, article on Facebook, check it out. It's actually addressing the issue of our music not penetrating to the UK international scene. On that note, I have to stop here. And thank you for watching.